is going on, guys? What is going on? Welcome to the stream. What is going on, guys? What is going on, guys? Welcome in. Welcome to the stream. What is good? Eddie, what's going on, man? Dolan, hopefully I'm saying your name right. What's going on? DeBoy Manziel, what's going on, guys? Let's go. Alfred, what's going on, man? I've seen you here before. David, what's going on? What's going on, guys? Welcome. Hopefully you guys are getting comfortable on a Tuesday night pre-CPI. Back on stream once again. Mans is the man. What's going on, guys? What's good? Stock Market Cody, what's good? Book, what's good, my brother? How you doing? What is going on, guys? What is good? Looking forward to this. Coopsta, what's going on, brother? How am I doing? I'm doing well, doing well. When you have the live feeds, Heat Hawks game, that's going to be a good game tonight. Should probably toss that on, huh? What's good, guys? I'm going to give everyone about a couple minutes to get in. I know it's Tuesday night, 9 o'clock. Hopefully this time works well for people. I know that it usually does, but Hawks Heat's going to be a great game tonight. What are we slapping tomorrow? I don't know. We'll have to see. Mans, what's your real name? My real name is Lorenzo. Lorenzo. Italian. A lot of people think it's like Hispanic. Nope. But that Italian blood. What's going on, guys? What's the screen that shows scores and prices on the bottom right? This is Webull Desktop that I'm using. If you guys want to see how I set up my Webull Desktop, there's a full video inside the YouTube channel. If you go down, I want to say it's like 4 or 5 videos down, there's a full tutorial on how I set up my exact setup that you guys see me using right now. What's going on? Who's hitting the links this Friday? I'm hitting the links on Friday for sure. Golf is a must every Friday of the summer, guys, for me now. I actually shot my best score ever. My best score ever this past week. I shot a 113 a couple days ago, so I'm pretty stoked about that. If you guys want to hate on my golf game, it's cool, but 113 is a good spot for me. I'm trying to break 100 by the end of the summer. That's my goal. So, what are my thoughts on premium movements today? Awful. Super choppy. Super choppy. You had to be a legit sniper today if you were trying to take advantage of things. All right, guys, I'm going to give everyone about two more minutes to get in. Try to give everybody a second. I gotta quickly send out the Discord notification too. What's going on, guys? Maybe I should sit down more often. I never sit down. I have my chair like right here, but I have a standing desk and all I do is stand. So you guys sit or stand during the day? Sitting's like really bad for you, apparently. It's the studies I've read. Sorry, guys, I'm sending out the Discord link is in the Discord. Make sure everybody gets the live stream link. You don't want to miss it. What's good? Not Mr. Lucky. I plan on trying to play the course called Kittlebrook. It's fire. Sounds fire. Hit the like. Yeah, if you guys are coming in, guys, welcome. Trying to let everybody get in here. If you want to do me a humongous solid, if you enjoy these live streams, if you like tuning in before the major events like FOMC and CPI, and you want me to keep doing these, please do me a humongous solid. All I ask is you literally just like the stream. It's like the bottom left-hand corner. You hit that like button for me, guys. Already got 6 likes. That would be a huge help. It allows me to kind of continue doing these streams. If you want to subscribe, even better. It allows me to take the time out and do these streams before big events. So I really appreciate if you just want to slap that like button for me. Before you slap any contracts tomorrow, make sure you slap that like button. All right, and the coordinates is done for the night. 27 likes already. Look at that. We broke 100 last time. Break 100. We'll break 200 soon enough. What's going on, guys? Trying to give everybody just one more minute to get in. We're gonna get started at 9:10. What's going on? What's the screen with baseball scores? Oh, this thing. I forget what this is called. This is I honestly don't know. Chicken Trades, Hunter got me this for my birthday, I believe, last year. It's really sick, though. It gives you, like, live scores. You can hook up stocks, and you can control it all from your phone. So, like, I have, like, some of the favorite tickers that I look at, like Rivian, Coin, Apple, all up there. And then you can program it to have, like, whatever you want. So you can do, like, tickers. You can do scores, all that type of stuff. What's going on, guys? All right, so I want to just quickly kind of welcome everybody again. If you're in the live chat, Stock Market Cody, what's going on? JRDN, what's going on? I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. This is probably like my 4th or 5th public stream in the last like month. I'm trying to do these more often, especially before big events like CPI and FOMC. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your night to tune in and kind of hang out and kind of go through some levels and my game plan for tomorrow, because that's what this is, guys. The point of this stream is to kind of go over and show you an inside look at my process before these big events, right? And we're in a really choppy market, so prep is more important than ever, guys. You have to be an absolute sniper in this market, and that all comes down to who's putting in the work when the market is closed. I like to say that all the time, but your P&L is 1,000% decided the nights before the market opens. I like to say that Sunday oftentimes decides my P&L for the week, so the work that I put on Sunday, the weeks where I put in the 2 hours of prep every Sunday, tend to be my most profitable weeks. The weeks where I get, slackish, which let's not lie, that happens to everybody. Those are the weeks that I feel like I'm unprepared and it's your job to be as prepared as possible when we're doing this. So I appreciate everybody coming out, tuning into the stream as always. If you want to do me a humongous solid, guys, just toss a like on the stream. If you like tuning in, it helps me a ton. I am going to give away 2 Discord spots, so if you liked the tweet on my Twitter feed, I'm going to announce 2 free Discord winners for the rest of the month of April, so you'll be able to come hang out in the chat every day, listen to me live trade every day, watch these pre-market live streams, which we do every morning, and tune into the exclusive post-market live streams, which I host once or twice every single week, as well as my Sunday Scan newsletter. That's all included in the Discord. I'm going to announce 2 winners. I'm going to do one in the middle of the stream, and then we'll do another one at the end of the stream. I'll announce 2 people total. If you haven't liked that tweet already, like the original, I'm doing the stream tonight tweet, and I'm going to pick 2 people. So I think that already has like 300 likes. I'm going to announce 2 winners. If you guys want to join the Discord, you don't want to wait for your chance to win, you can just click the link in my bio and sign up. So that is the layout for tonight. Let's quickly cover how we're going to go through things. So I don't want to spend too much time on the macro and data numbers themselves. I'm primarily a price action level-to-level based trader. So what I'm going to do tonight is we're going to walk through quickly what estimates look like for CPI tomorrow. This is supposed to be our biggest, single largest decline in the CPI print during this cycle going into tomorrow. So we are expecting a 5.2 tomorrow, guys. If we look at estimates for tomorrow, CPI obviously previous was at that 6 number. We're expected to drop down to 5.2, 0.3 core, and that is a definitely a really big downtick in CPI, right, guys? And I think that that's very important to note. There's a lot kind of coming into this, right? This is absolutely, without a doubt, our single largest expected drop in the CPI, on a month-to-month basis. So this is a big deal for the market, guys. We'll have to see what that number comes in at. I believe Cleveland Fed at that 5.2 number. So, we will see. This is a definitely a big print. The market is extremely coiled going into this print. And frankly, we've seen a pretty big run-up already over the last, weeks to months, really, guys. This has been a very, very, kind of bullish market over the past 4 weeks. And coming into this, we've definitely got quite the setup on our hands. So that is, we're almost looking at a full percentage point drop, right? So if I'm currently looking at the RBC preview for this, if you're wondering, RBC is solid for pre-CPI. U.S. year-over-year inflation rate is expected to fall by almost a full percentage point to 5.1% in March. The pullback largely from a drop in energy prices, although food price growth has also been edging lower in recent months. So core inflation obviously has been stickier. I think that's the number that a lot of people are going to be paying attention to tomorrow, including myself. I think that core is going to be one of the biggest, and then obviously home rents. will be a big deal as well. Don't forget, guys, I always try to say this a bunch, but going into tomorrow, yes, a lot of people like this to be a home run type of day. It doesn't have to be, right? Remember that we have PPI coming on Thursday and retail sales on Friday. So it's a really backloaded week in terms of data. We could absolutely see some insane moves, right, in terms of volatility. Over the next few days, we've been at a really low rate of volatility to start, kind of going into this. And so just keep that in mind, guys. A lot of people you see on FinTwit, they're going to be like, oh, well, this is such a big deal. You have to, double your count on CPI day or it doesn't count. That's BS, right? Really, the goal of tomorrow is to come in, find that A+ setup, and then keep going, right? It really, for me, guys, is a 1 or 2 trade a day type of market. I took 3 trades today, and that felt like a ton. So really, guys, the game plan for me tomorrow is to just be as selective as possible and realize that oftentimes the best setups come in the days following the CPI report, just like is the case with FOMC days, right? So keep that in mind. Don't put a ton of pressure on yourself. That's when you start to make mistakes, in my opinion. That is my thought process. So the way that we're going to go through the rest of the stream, guys, is I'm going to cover 4 charts that I really like going into tomorrow, right? I'm going to talk about what levels I'm going to be looking at, the downside and upside, areas of, targets I think we could see. Please keep in mind that we could see a very large reaction in pre-market, and a lot of these levels could be not valid, right? We could already have blown past these levels in pre-market. So please keep that in mind, guys. What's going on, Chet? What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Mans, I need a mentor to scale up for the next level. Should I come to Miami for an event? Yeah, I have never actually, I don't think I've really been to Miami. Yo, Dane, what's going on? Ace, what's going on? Good to see you guys in the chat as always. What tweet do we have to like? If you want to be entered to win the Discord spot, it's the tweet that is in the thumbnail of this YouTube video. You can just hit that. It's the tweet that says I'm doing a CPI stream tonight, and I think that already has like 300 likes. So it's going to be this tweet right here. I'll go and show it to you guys just so you know, because I'm going to announce the first one at 9:30, and then I'll do one more before we end the stream around 9:45. It's this one right here, that one with the YouTube link on it. Yeah, also Twitter nerfs anything that has a YouTube link in it now. So if you guys don't see my YouTube tweets, that's why, is because they're trying to prevent like you going to other platforms. So just keep that in mind. But obviously, guys, number one focus for me tomorrow is going to be the Qs. This has been my daily trader as of late, given the moves we've seen in tech. Personally, when the market is choppy, tighter, I like to focus on NQ or QQQ, right? Personally, I watch this name trade futures a lot, and so I'm familiar with the levels, and it's kind of been my go-to. I've had a really nice hit rate on this over the last 3 weeks, and it's kind of just been what I've been trading, right? Because I'm really familiar with Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft. Those are my go-to names, and so those encompass a heavy weighting inside the Qs. So this is my daily trader and my go-to. Thank you for your time. Barack, good to see you in the chat as always. Hopefully I'm getting your name right. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in, guys. If you haven't already, I would totally appreciate it. You want to throw the stream a like, that would mean a ton. If you haven't subscribed already, do so. You get a notification every time we go live. So on the Qs tomorrow, my primary focus is obviously, guys, going to be this focus level that I have marked out, 312.50 into the 313 area, right? We've basically had 4 days in the exact same range, right? We can see this on the hourly, and if you guys aren't familiar, I'm going to walk through these setups by doing a couple of things, right? We're going to look at the daily, we're going to look at the hourly, and then I'll get in on the tighter time frames a little bit. That is how I go through my prep, right? I want to be working from back to front, and I want to be using those higher time frame areas as my confluence, right? So primary confluence coming from the daily and the hourly. I mark out my key levels in the hourly, and that is what I'm trading off of, is those key hourly pivots. In this market, with how choppy it is, I'm taking trades on the 5-minute usually, right? Maybe even the 3 in this market. So obviously, guys, if we look at the hourly, what do you see? It's a pretty clear picture, right? We've got a really strong area of supply, right, where we're seeing steady sellers come in, and we're seeing a really, really strong area of demand at this 312 up to 314, right? So 312.50 up to 314 has kind of been that spot, right? Our low on the hourly is that 312.82 area. So we've got about $1 of really strong demand. You see these long wicks down on the hourly, guys, and I'm looking at the hourly chart on QQQ if you're following along. So this is my area of reference going into tomorrow, right? Personally, guys, given the weakness that we've seen in mega cap tech, A lot of these names have broken this kind of hourly support already if you look at their respective charts. Amazon, Apple, to name a couple. This is really going to be the area that I'm focused on. If we blow can I talk tonight? I really hope so. If we blow past this area, my God, I'm going to get it, guys. Don't worry. If we blow past this area in pre-market, this is going to be kind of the area that I want to watch, right? So truthfully, we're probably going to break out of this range in pre-market on the Qs, right? 313, really strong area of support. 318.6 up to 319, really strong area of resistance, right? I would imagine that we're going to outside of this range by the time the market opens tomorrow, right? Just because we're going to get that CPI print at 8:30. And like I said, primarily what I'm going to be focused on, long or short, is going to be a retest of either end of this range, right? So for example, say we get a hot print and we open up at 310, right? What I'm going to be watching is for a retest, right, on the hourly of this, what is now demand, right, support area, and for us to start rejecting that before entering shorts, right? I'm going to want to see such a big area of support be retested and reject before entering that short side trade, right? So I think that's really, really important. Yeah, I'm going to do, you got this, Bo, support. Luke, appreciate that, brother. Thank you, man. All I needed was to have it written out. I'm going to go over SPY next, guys. So we're going to do QQQ, SPY, Nvidia. I'll cover coin as well, and then I'm going to do a couple that you guys throw in the chat. So right after those four, I'll try to do them as efficiently as possible. Appreciate you guys tuning in, guys. If you're just joining us, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps out the channel and the stream a ton. I appreciate it. We got like 200 people in here right now. That's awesome, and I really appreciate you guys all tuning in. So yeah, of course, really appreciate you guys watching. So like I said, I can't, again, you guys hear me use the analogy all the time. I'm not going to sit up here and play That So Raven. That's like probably a generational analogy. But if you get that, I'm not going to sit up here and try to predict the future, right? But my best guess is with how tight we have coiled on the hourly, and this is by far my favorite time frame to utilize, I would imagine that we are going to open up outside of this range, right? 319 area of resistance above, 312 down to 312.80 up to 313 area of support right here, right? Those are our lows. If we open up outside of that range, right, and like I just said, for example, on the downside, say we open up at 320 tomorrow, right? I would be focused on seeing the Qs retest 319, right, or in that 318.6 area. If we hold that area and start to turn it into support, I do think we can see further upside, right, up to 322, and then breaking out to higher highs, right? This is our most recent high on the Qs, 322.17, which is coming from April 4th, right? So that is definitely a spot that I'll be watching on the upside. As far as the downside goes, we don't have really a lot of downside levels here on the hourly, right? So we have to come out to a wider time frame, right, and look at the daily. So let's look at the daily zoomed in on the Qs, right? You can see why this is acting as such a big area of support for us, right? It's because it's a retest of the most recent highs that we made, right? This is how the market goes. Makes a new high, comes down, pulls back, goes up again. We break out through that resistance, and what we're trying to do right now is turn this area, which was very strong resistance. You can tell it's strong resistance because look at where we rejected, right? On the 22nd of March, on the 23rd of March, we rejected at 313 twice. Once we finally broke it, we ripped to the upside, right? So this is a very strong daily pivot at 313. So if we break down below 313 in pre-market tomorrow, this is an area that I'm going to want to see confirm as a area of resistance still once we get into trading hours, right? That's definitely going to be a focus. Maybe I have a couple lotto puts overnight. Maybe I don't. I mean, who knows, right? But like I said, 313, really that major daily pivot. This is my favorite level going into tomorrow. I think that if we do get a blowout to the downside, we can have a really strong move down here, guys. I would not be surprised to see QQQ retest that more recent area of support at that 304.90 area, right? So you can see before we made this most recent leg up, right? We pulled back, tested 305, and we had some really strong support there, which launched us up to 321. So if we break down below 313, I honestly think that we would find 309 and then 305 to the downside, right? Those are going to be my two key levels and two key pivots on the downside, guys. I'd be looking at 308.80 as my first target if you're taking notes, and then 304.90. And these are just my personal targets, right? We've got really strong support in that 304 area, so I would not be surprised to see that area get retested. I do want to mention, guys, it's really important to look at how tight this daily is coiled, right? We've basically spent 4 days inside of a range of, $3 or $4. If you're driving yourself crazy trading this price action, don't worry, you're not alone. No, I'm just kidding. I've actually been on a really good streak lately. I did have my first red day in like a week and a half plus, but hey, it was small, so that's what's important. The important thing, like I said, guys, is really approaching things with the mindset of knowing your surroundings, and the daily chart is super, super important to understand that we've got really tight consolidation, and thus we're probably going to see a really strong move either direction, right? In terms of upside levels, we actually have to come out to the weekly to see where our next upside targets would be, right? Because we haven't been this high in a very long time. The other thing to remember is the broader time frame structure is very healthy here. So if we sell, that can actually increase the amount of selling that we see, because you have a lot of people that are long right now. Just look at the last 3 weekly candles, right? 4 weekly candles even. But really, we'd be testing highs of August, in my opinion, right? If we see that move to the upside, guys, it's 322, which is our most recent high, and then it's 332, right? Those are my major levels. I think that would, kind of be a very, very strong type of blow-off move towards 332 on a really cold print. But those are kind of going to be those upside levels that I want to watch in terms of the broader time frames. I think we need to get through 322 first. Before I even start thinking about anything in the 330s. But 322 upside, kind of range, and then again on the downside, I really think it would be towards that 309 spot, right? Because we floated pretty much up from 305 to 313. So I think that we would see the best indicator of future price action, guys, is looking back, in my opinion, and understanding, well, how did we move through this area of price before? Because history doesn't rhyme, but history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. I just don't have it tonight. I don't know why, but yeah. So look at past at past price action, right? And you can clearly see we floated pretty much from 305 to 313 in a day of trading, right? So it's very reasonable to assume that we could cut through that range to the downside, just as quickly, right? I think that would kind of be a one-day move, right, from 313 down to 308 because, well, it was a one-day move on the upside, right? So thank you for these streams, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, no, I'm happy to do it, guys. These public streams have been a huge hit, so as long as you guys keep tuning in and taking value and enjoying it, then I will keep doing them, right? So the biggest thank you that you can give me is if you want to toss it a like, make sure you subscribe. That helps out a ton and allows me to keep doing these. Kyle Shepard, what's going on, man? Julio, what's going on? Karen, good to see you as always. What's going on? Fadad, what's going on, my man? Mara, Riot, they have been grinding lately. Nick, what's going on? CA, what's good? Yeah, bro, this is dope. Nick, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, if I'm not explaining things clearly, let me know in the live chat. I literally do these streams with like the mindset of how would I understand it if I was brand new to trading, because I wish I had a stream like this to watch when I started trading, because it was so difficult. This was a foreign language to me when I started, right? So I would have loved to have something like this. And so that's how I try to do these streams, is like, it may seem elementary, but I'm trying to explain things. I'm a very basic trader, right? I keep things as simple as possible, and I try to explain them in as simple as terms as possible, right? So basic support and resistance, because if you don't understand that, you're going to have, one hell of a time. So I really try to really approach things, because that's how I go about things, guys. I'm a level to level price action trader. It's my core strategy, right? So yeah, absolutely. I do more in-depth streams in the Discord too about entries and stuff like that. So, this is my first time tuning in. I'm going to be on a break right now. When's the next one going to be? Next major event that we do, I stream every single day inside the Discord as well. If you'd like additional streams, obviously, like I said, that's in my private Discord. There's a small monthly fee, but we do stream every single day like this. So, not as long, but every single morning. Again, guys, but I'm going to try to keep doing these public streams basically before every big event. So like FOMC, CPI, I'm going to do these and, try to give out as much free game as possible. So I hope you guys do enjoy it. So yeah, so those are going to be upside and downside pivots that I'm going to be watching on the Qs tomorrow. It's pretty simple and straightforward in my opinion, guys. Again, this is the target zone for me on the downside, right? Because we've seen a lot of heaviness in Apple, Amazon, etc. And I really think we can cut through this 313 to 308.80 zone pretty swiftly, right? But that's the next major pivot that I would target if we come down under this 313 level. I want to emphasize that tomorrow, if we open below that level, I would want to at least see our most recent hourly low be retested before continuing lower. So say we open at 311, right? And we come up, I'm going to want to see 313 get retested, them sell it, and then, right, I want to see liquidity get sold there, and then we come down back towards our initial target, right, which would be that 308 spot. So that's going to be my plan on QQQ. Let's talk SPY. I know this is going to be a popular one. A lot of people want to go about SPY levels. Let's quickly note, QQQ and SPY look slightly different right now, right? There is strength in financials. SPY held up really well today. If you were wondering how SPY was green with Apple, Amazon, and the trio red, well, BAC was up like 3% today. A lot of strength in financials and energy names today. SPY has exposure to those, QQQ does not. So I talk about that all the time, but do yourself a favor, put yourself at an advantage, identify if SPY or QQQ has relative weakness and trade the one that does to the downside, and identify which one has relative strength and trade that one to the upside, right? Automatically puts you at an advantage because you're trading something with relative strength to the upside and you're trading something with relative weakness to the downside. Make life easier on yourself. Every single day this past week, one or the other has had relative strength or relative weakness. So why make your job harder? It's hard enough, right? Cost John, appreciate you, man. Yo, mans, what's going on? Christopher, what's going on, man? Appreciate you guys. We're almost at 100 likes on the stream, guys. Thank you so much. What type of price action do I expect? Major choppiness, scalper's paradise. Again, I don't try to sit here and predict the future, guys, but I think that whatever price action we do get, I think we'll get a trend day out of tomorrow. There's a lot of multi-day, multi-week consolidation going on. A good example of that is Nvidia, right? Nvidia has been in a 4% range for 15 days. I'm expecting a move out of that range tomorrow, which I think will correlate alongside a break outside of the range on the indices, right? Because if you look at a name like Nvidia, it's a great leading indicator, right? You're seeing major consolidation within a very tight range. This is very low ATR for Nvidia right now, right? And this is typically a name that sees a lot of volatility, right? In this case, Nvidia has been literally pinned between 264 and 275 for 13 or 14 days now, right? We're going on 15 days. So it's a very, very, very tight range. Isaac, 3 days in the room, and I love the vibe. Isaac, thank you so much, man. That means a ton to me. It's been pretty much my entire my entire work has been creating the room, so I appreciate it, man. Mans, do you use extended hours or regular hours for levels on the 1 hour? I use extended hours as well because it does matter. Pre-market high and low is very important, especially like a day like tomorrow, guys. You have to think extended hours are going to be playing a major factor into how we trade tomorrow. So what chart am I viewing Nvidia on right now? We are looking at the daily chart on Nvidia right now, guys. If you are wondering what time frame I am on, you can go down to the bottom of the screen and you can see, right, this is the hourly, this is the daily, right? And so Nvidia, I'm looking at the Nvidia daily right now. I posted this chart on my Twitter, my primary Twitter as well, guys. And I explained that this is a very, very low ATR, which is average true range, right, for Nvidia to be trading. This is extremely tight. So this is kind of representative of how the indices have been trading as well. We've pretty much printed 3 identical daily candles in a row on the Qs, right? SPY is slightly different, right? Why is SPY different? It has exposure to energy and financials, and we actually briefly broke above that prior day's high, right, on SPY, which we did not see on QQQ. So going into tomorrow, right, we are at a very key level for SPY because the last time we rejected at 411.50 was right here, right? That was the daily candle on the 16th of February, and we are hitting that same high, right, and having trouble getting through it. So my levels on SPY are the same, and if you're just joining us, guys, if you're wondering how I go through and prep for the day ahead, I start on the daily, I work my way to the hourly. So right now we're looking at the SPY daily chart. If I don't knock the mic over in the process, and then we're going to kind of move our way onto the SPY hourly, and then we'll get on the 30-minute, and then we'll get on some of the tighter time frames, right? That being said, it is 9:34, so I'm going to announce the first winner for the Discord. If you've liked the tweet, you have been automatically entered to win. I'm going to scroll down, randomly pick a name, and I'm Anthony. If you are in the stream, shoot me a DM. That is number one. I'm going to put these people in the comments, and if they do not claim it, I'll announce 2 more winners on Twitter later. So I'm going to announce it on live. If you're in here and you hear your name, DM me on Twitter. I will give you a free 3 weeks in the Discord for the rest of the month. So I'm Anthony. That is our first winner. So randomly picked a name there. I'm going to do another one at the end of this stream as well. Oh, what's good? There you are. Let's go. All right. So thank you for the educational content. Much to learn from you. I see many videos in our private Discord group. Can you please help us with any books or concepts that you need to learn in order of priority? That's a great question. I'll take a time to answer a quick question. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I did very minimal reading to get to where I am in terms of trading. What I did do was spend a relentless amount of hours watching every single day for 2.5, 3 years before I really became, to the point that I'm getting to, right? It is just relentless hours viewing the tape, guys, trading many different markets. I'm still learning something new every day. I like to say that, guys. If any trader thinks they are perfect and they have it figured out, it's the biggest red flag in the world. I learn something new every single day that makes my game better. Obviously, like I have a decent view on things, and that's what's gotten me the point that I am at right now. But every single day I learn something new, right? So the best, I think, more important than any book, more important than anything, guys, is if I was restarting from scratch, I would put $150 in a Webull account and I would just sit there and practice, right? Like practice trading SPY, practice trading the Qs, right? One day to expiration, like just understanding how these things move. Trade, like weekly contracts on Coin or Nvidia, right? Because you can do that for $20 or $30. You're probably going to lose that money, but right, you're sitting there and you're actually learning real hands-on with a smaller amount of money that you can afford to investing in yourself. So that is how I learned, guys, was just trial error, right? And I was in the right place, right time. Those things happen more. It's not random, right? You find yourself in the right place, right time when you put in the work, right? And you guys hear me say the saying all the time, but it's luck is when preparation meets opportunity, right? And it's super corny, but it's facts, right? If you are putting in the work, you're going to find yourself in good position more often than not. So if you use hourlies for levels, what time frames do I enter on? Depends on the day. Today I was using the 5-minute. That's real. Love to hear it, bro. Matthew, what's going on, brother? Campos, appreciate you tuning in as always. If you don't follow this guy on TikTok, you absolutely should. He's a monster. He's blowing up there as well. So, Matty Campos, appreciate you being in the chat, brother. Good to see you. So yeah, guys, going into tomorrow, like I said, I've talked about this already, but this is our biggest expected drop in inflation throughout this entire cycle, right? Last CPI print, we had a 6 handle. We're expected to print a 5.2. So this is a really big deal in my opinion, right? And it's definitely something that you want to take note of. In terms of the S&P 500, I equally think we're going to see a very large move here as well. We've spent, the last 5 trading days in a $6 range. You have to think about price action as like a pressure cooker, right? And the longer you spend inside that like very tight area, the bigger the move is going to be when it finally explodes out, right? So in my opinion, I think we're probably going to have an $8 to $10 move on SPY one way or the other. Unless the inflation print comes in like right as expected. Could we trade flat? I guess. I'm going to be really disappointed if we do. So I don't want to get your expectations up too much. But given the level of consolidation we've seen, I do think we are going to see a larger move sooner rather than later, right? Maybe it's PPI, maybe it's retail sales. But again, I do think that we should get a decent move off of this number tomorrow. So Art, what's going on, man? Daniel Park. Appreciate you guys tuning into the stream as always. If you want to talk to me in the live chat, I'm trying to read everything I can. 500 people in here already, guys. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already and you want me to keep doing these streams publicly, just toss a like on the stream. We're almost at our record high for likes on the stream already, so I really appreciate that, guys. That means a ton to me. But we're going to keep doing these, and this is what allows me to do it, is when you guys subscribe, when you guys like. It's totally free. I spend usually an hour on here, and that helps me out a ton and the channel a ton, right? So we can keep doing this. Don't forget, like I said, guys, that helps out a ton. As far as SPY levels go, let's come out to the hourly, right? We've clearly got a ton of support, right, in this 409 area, right? We saw that level get dipped down to multiple times today, and that's becoming a very key pivot, right? So going into tomorrow, we had a lot of support. And how do we identify support on the hourly, right? It's these long, notable wicks, right? You can see that we did not close a single hourly candle below that 409.70 area, right? And that was really key all day. Every single time the S&P 500 dipped today, we saw buyers step in, and that's evident by these long, notable wicks, right? And so breaking through this 409 area would probably cause a move back down to 407, in my opinion, given the level of demand we saw there today. Just like on the Qs, guys, it's very similar, right? The only difference being SPY actually did make a new high from the past 2 days, whereas the Qs are still in that exact same range. But again, going into tomorrow, QQQ had more relative weakness than SPY, right? I actually do have a couple SPY lottos overnight that I did take, put lottos, because honestly, we're at the top of the range right now, and you know, I honestly, I'm not exactly feeling how the market's been trading lately. That's feel-based, and that is a complete gamble, but I took enough to, you know, at least have some fun with it. But again, primarily tomorrow, guys, it's all about reacting, not predicting. If you're going to predict small. You'll see me, obviously, I usually don't take positions into binary events. If you're wondering why I did take a lotto into this CPI, I talked about this on Twitter as well, but we had probably the most attractive premiums from a buyer's perspective in a very long time, right? And what do I mean by that? Well, the options premiums are pricing in almost no move for tomorrow, right? They're pricing in a flat day on the CPI report. And sometimes, guys, when you have an option market that is not pricing in a move, right, a lot of the time, right, you'll get those occurrences where you'll get that event that really kind of screws people over on that side, right? Whereas your offsides as a person who's selling that premium, I really thought that the options on both sides were in favor of the buyer, right? If you're buying the premium, because I think the 407 puts were at like 60 cents today. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 401, 402 tomorrow on the downside, or 418, 420 on the upside. So I thought the calls and puts were relatively burnt on both sides. So I did take a small position. I'm willing to lose and expecting to lose 100% of that. That is truly a very speculative bet, right? But going into tomorrow, after the print is done, my bias is going to be completely washed. And that's really key. If you're going to take any exposure, you have to understand what that is. It's highly speculative, and you have to be able to disconnect from that exposure as soon as the market opens, right? Because there's going to be new opportunities. So again, coming into tomorrow, right, 408.90 down to 408.20. That's area of demand number one for me. I really think if we break down sub 408, we'll see that 405.50 level come into play again. Again, I think that we are probably going to open outside of this range on the hourly, right? So the true range here on SPY for me, right, is 412 and then 406, right? 406 has been defended like nobody's business. If we crack through 406, right, I'm expecting to see 403.80 and then 400 relatively quick. That is going to coincide with the levels that I laid out on QQQ. If we break out to the upside, right, I'm going to be looking for 420, right? 416 is first. We might even open towards that level, right? And then it's really, I think, going to be 420 relatively quickly on the S&P. So the top of that range, again, we referenced it on the Qs, August highs, 426 on the SPY daily. We look at the weekly. Obviously, guys, it's extremely healthy as well. And, like I said, guys, it's a really interesting spot that we're at. If you look, right, and you go back to the moat, I think that if we do see a larger scale pullback, we could retest probably 385 again, right? On the broader term right, as we get closer into May. Seasonality is definitely in favor of the bulls right now. I'll definitely say that. QQQ as well, right? We've got that uptrend from December. Close that out. Let's look at the QQQ uptrend, right, that we've got on the weekly. This is pretty simple to draw out, but if you look at, the QQQ daily, right, we've kind of got that uptrend building, on the daily chart. I think we could see a pullback to trend on the daily, right? So just from a little bit broader perspective, right, I think that it wouldn't be insanely surprising to see us test that trend on the Qs on SPY. That was really messy, and I'm sorry. I don't know why I can't draw trend lines tonight. But like I said, again, guys, we've kind of got this trend on the daily that's being formed. Let's see if I can draw a angled line here. There we go. Right, and I think there is some room to possibly retest that, right? We've only tested it twice so far, so that would be a test in that 303 area that I gave. So just keep that in mind. Question on this print: if we come in below 5.5, couldn't that be considered bullish since inflation is coming down even though we miss expectations? It could, but I think you have to understand the market has given us this major we're going to see the biggest drop that we've seen this entire cycle, right? So you've got expectations that are sky high right now for this inflation print to come in at 5.2. That scares me a little bit. I can't even lie, right? But again, I don't trade based on feel. I trade based on price. But that doesn't, give me the best feeling is that there's so much kind of going into this. What's going on, guys? What is going on? 500 people in here. I really appreciate it, guys. We're still going to announce one more winner of the free 3 weeks in the Discord. I already announced one. If they don't DM me, then I will announce a winner on Twitter for each one of these. So if they're not in here, I'm definitely going to do that. We're going to announce the next winner in about 5 minutes. And so, like I said, if you guys don't mind, helps me a ton. You want to leave a like on the stream. If you guys want to join us in Discord, where I live stream every single morning, pre-market and post-market, you can do so. Link is in my bio. I think there's like 11 spots that are left for the month of April. So I'm giving 2 of those away. So there's really like 9 spots left. But if you guys want that, link is in my bio. I stream like this every single morning. And then on the after hours on every single Tuesday. So every week we get some EDU in, and then we stream on Sundays as well. So a lot of streaming. And this was just celebrating my 1,000th stream, which is pretty cool. If you guys checked out that video, I appreciate it. That was a pretty cool milestone to get to. 500,000 views. All of you guys are a part of that, so I really appreciate everybody who's consistently in here and watching. That's the stuff that keeps me doing this stuff and making content and pushing harder, right, is to bring you guys value. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's talk about the other charts that I'm going to be watching. So top focus for me, outside of SPY and QQQ, we've talked about it a little bit already. We are on the Nvidia daily chart, right? I kind of already explained why I like this chart. Let me clear my levels for you guys. We've got 2 key pivots that I want to first mark out on the hourly, and that's going to be 280, right, which are our most recent high, and you're seeing a theme here, right? Prior high at 264. This is a name that I think everybody's trying to short because the PE is so erroneous here, right? I think this is trading at like 157 PE, and it's just probably grossly overvalued, but they're powering ChatGPT, and they've got some really bullish AI sentiment, right? That being said, just because something is overvalued doesn't mean that you should probably short it, because look at what's happening to people that have been in Nvidia puts since 250, right? They're burnt to a crisp. I don't care how long you bought time on. This has been trading like this for a month. Those puts are toasted, right? And that's one of the reasons that I actually think Nvidia could see a pretty solid pullback soon, is because they finally, so many people were trying to short this. Obviously I've traded this intraday, but I know there are a lot of people trying to short this, and the market often does that, right? It'll chop people, it'll burn them out of their positions, and then the move will happen, right? Nvidia has consolidated for such a long time, right? And look at where we are on the weekly chart. It's either probably going close to all-time highs, or we're going to get a pretty big pullback, right? One thing I want to mention is this is the exact level, right, 280, which caused this move, right, that we saw back in last April, right? Almost a year ago to the day, right, which was basically a $50 move down in a week, right? We went 276 to 230 in a single week last year, last April 8th, right? Almost a year ago. Ivan, thank you, man. You love the stream. I appreciate it, guys. If you want to do me a solid, if if you want to keep seeing these streams, go ahead and leave a like on the video, guys. It is right down below in the bottom left corner, I believe. Vincent, what's going on, man? Rocky, good to see you. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Really, really appreciate it. Davey D, sorry if you can go back to SPY levels. Davey, you can rewind the stream and watch it. I'm trying not to rewind too much because a lot of people have been in here and have been staying in here, and I'm trying to keep up with the schedule. But those levels are there. You can rewind the stream and go back and watch after if you like, and I covered SPY levels pretty in depth. So don't forget, you can always go back and rewatch. I'm going to post the recording link. And if you guys want to do me a big solid, you can just favorite that tweet when I put it out if you enjoyed the stream. That would mean a lot. So again, guys, on Nvidia, right, we've seen that this 264 pivot, when it breaks to the downside, can cause big moves, right, to the downside. And so again, I'm just saying past price action, right? I'm not saying that Nvidia is going to drop $50 in a week. What I am saying is that this level has been a strong pivot on those daily timeframes before, right? And so, there's no reason to think that we couldn't see a strong move here. If we see a move to the upside, I think it's going to go 290 and then probably 316. I mean, it's got pretty clear upside and downside range. That's why I like it, right? Because it's a very, very clean setup. The one reason that I actually like Nvidia to the short side tomorrow, though, is because of the way it closed. Let's look at the 15-minute, right? We'll look at the closer kind of zoomed in time frame. This was a very, it felt like a very ugly close, and we saw really heavy selling volume here, right? That's something that I always pay attention to, is relative strength and relative weakness going into the print, right? So as we close the day, I really want to pay attention to those things because they're super, super important. So watching to see what's closing strong, what's closing weak. I mean, you look at the way that, something like Nvidia closed, whereas Coin closed really strong, right? So there's two total differences, right? So again, I think this name's probably a little bit tired. We're probably going to open near that 264 pivot on the downside or 280 pivot on the upside. So personally, I like this on the short side against 264. So if we are under 264 and starting to reject that level on the daily, obviously I really like this for downside continuation towards the 253 level over the next week or a couple days. But by the end of this week, if we do see a downside heavy move, if we see an upside heavy move, I probably will not participate on Nvidia because I like this one on the short side more. I think that we'll probably see 290 above, right? But I like the downside range towards 250 more here on Nvidia given that past price action. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. What do you do to stop yourself from over trading? This is a great question. I'm going to answer this one because I really like it. I have talked about this a ton, and if you are not aware, guys, the best way to stop yourself, in my opinion, from over trading is go outside. Get away from the desk. I can't emphasize that enough. You have to unchain yourself and get out of the room. That is the best way to stop over trading. Guys, I'm leaving the desk at 11 a.m. on the dot. And I broke my rule today. And because of that, I lost $400, right? But when I follow my rules, I've been green for 2.5, 3 weeks straight. And it's one of my longest streaks. I think it's 15 out of the last 16 days or something, or 14 of the last 16 days. And then part of that, guys, is I'm getting out of my office at 11 o'clock. Trust me, I used to be the guy that would try to be taking advantage of max opportunities. But you have to realize that this is what is most important, right, is how A+ the setup is. And if that A+ setup idea doesn't execute, it's fine. Let it be a small loss, get out, and tackle it, right? It's not a day to sit here and revenge trade. You're in my opinion, you're just gonna kill yourself mentally and account-wise by doing that. So best part of the day, 9:30 to 11 o'clock. That means you're leaving money on the table, not in this market. Yeah, I'll look at coin in a second. Nah, so that's not how I view this market, guys. This is a one and done market. My days are probably a fifth to maybe even 1/10 of the size that they were last year, and that's okay because I'm trying to be consistent right now. This is a really difficult market. I've heard multiple veterans that I really look up to saying that this is the most difficult market they've seen in 13 years. And so if I'm coming in here and being green every day, or a high percentage of days over the last couple months. I'm really happy about that, and I'm going to do what continues to work, right? And so for me, what's working is coming in, taking advantage of QQQ every morning, and then going and playing golf or doing something outside, like going for a walk with my dog. It doesn't really matter, but getting away from the screen, turning my phone off, or if you have to remove the Webull app, you have to do it. But really getting out of the office, guys, is crucial to me, not over trading. That's a great question, though. I appreciate you guys asking that, but it's absolute facts. In my opinion, that's just what works for me. Got trapped on the 70 break on Coin. Yeah, let's look at Coin really quick. All right, so Coin had a clean breakout off the open, but it did not have a clean breakout end of day, in which I tried to trade this to the upside because we wicked off of 69.5, printed a really nice green candle, and then we sold right back through it. I ended up taking a very small win on this. I think it was like 13 or 14%. This is the first time I've traded Coin in a while, but it was notably weak at the end of the day compared to Mara and Riot. Had a really clean move off the open, which I did not catch today on high volume, and then we just consolidated, right? And we chopped and kind of had some distribution on the shorter time frames here, and then kind of just couldn't sustain that move at the end of the day. What was telling for me here, guys, was, really, if you look at the 5 minute, right, we just, giving back that entire move was just not healthy. And so here's why I exited, right? We had a lot of support intraday at that 70-70 area. And once we rejected that on this 5 minute candle, you see how we sold off of 70-70 at the end of the day. I got out immediately when I saw that bearish engulfing candle on the 5. I was out because I did not. This needs to get above 70-70 and hold to see a move up, in my opinion. If it does that tomorrow, and this had really nice relative strength today, even still, right, it was still up 6%, it's probably 73 and then 80 plus above, because we've got that Wells notice, right, to the upside. This is a kind of a messy chart, so much distribution and trading through this area, but there's a pretty big gap up to the 77 level. So if Bitcoin is strong, and all these mining names have been really, really strong, right? Like Mara, Riot, etc. They're a little bit extended for me to look at in terms of day trades. But like I said, Coin had really nice strength. It's probably still got some meat to the move up to 77. So definitely a name that I like. Hey mans, how did you overcome over leveraging yourself and adding to losers? Only if you got time and you're on a schedule. Yeah, man, I'm happy to answer the question. That's a good one. Really, I got out of the habit pretty early on of averaging down, guys. If the trade isn't going correctly, especially in this market, guys, I've talked about it, but one of the most important things that you can do in this market, I think, is if it's going against you, you have to be as tight as possible. Like, I'm just as guilty as like the next person. Like, I had a lotto today on the Qs, like go, minus 90%. It was a 0 day to expiration. I took it as a lotto after already being green this morning. And so like, not a huge deal, but I stepped away from the desk, right? And not like I sat there and actively managed it, but I didn't add to the position, right? I'm not going to add to a loser. If I'm wrong, right? I have to understand that. And really it's just not adding to losing positions, right? That's the biggest thing. And truly, guys, a good example of a trade that I'm not going to let go against me was Coin today, right? I took a Coin scalp at the end of the day. I think it was up 20%, 21%. I sold half my position. If I am up more than 15% on a trade in this market, my stop automatically becomes break even. So like on Coin today, I sold half my position at plus 20%. The last half of the position, stop is at break even, right? I'm not going to let the market go against me and take big chunks out of my P&L, right? Like, that has to be your goal. This is like a defense first market, right? So that trade that I took today on Coin was a perfect example of sold half at 20%, stop immediately comes up to break even, right? Don't let it go against you if it's already been green. You're letting a green trade turn red, and that's a no-no. Entered on the break on retest of 70 on the 1 minute. I don't love using the 1 minute. The smallest time frame that I use intraday is usually the 3. Like, if I'm really like hardcore scalping the Qs, I'll use the 3 minute. What's going on, guys? Yeah, really appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. We're gonna have about a couple more minutes. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm gonna announce the last winner of the private Discord. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to pick one more winner at random, and then we will go. Richard T. Stocks. If you are in the stream, you are our winner. So I shot you a DM. If you're tuning in, let me know. Where can you get info on the Discord? Yeah, go ahead. Christian, if you look at the description of this video, there's a Patreon link that you can click that, and it'll give you a complete breakdown of the Discord, what is included, stream times, all that kind of stuff. It's in the description. Or you can go to my Twitter bio. There's a Patreon link. You can click that, and it has all the information on the Discord, including like what's included and all that kind of stuff. So what's your go-to entry time, for example, on that coin trade? It was on the 5 minute. If you're actually asking time frame. Who was first? I don't remember the exact username. You can rewind the stream, and I DM'd him as well. But if these winners do not claim their prize, I will announce 2 new winners a little bit later tonight, or tomorrow morning, probably at this point. Yeah. Yes, Nick James. There we go. Thoughts on Roku? That's a good question. I haven't looked at Roku in a little while. I think that this looks a lot like the other growth names. I don't know. This is a lot of consolidation on the daily. My God. I mean, this isn't a range. This is probably not something I'm going to look to trade until that breaks. But this is a good trade to set price alerts for when it does between 60 and 68. This looks a lot like coin. Did I enter after the candle closed? I did not. Today was kind of momentum trade on coin, but I had a really tight stop as well. It does look clean. All right, guys, so those are going to be my top 4 focus setups for tomorrow. If you missed any of the trades that I covered, you can go through and go back and rewind this entire stream and rewatch it. If you guys have already not done so, do me a solid. Throw a like on the stream. Allows us to keep doing these. I know you guys really appreciate it. And I love having you guys tuning in. I know it's late. It's 10 o'clock already. I do have to get some sleep. Toss up an audiobook. Yeah, I might have to, Chad. That sounds like the move. Any weed stocks that I'm looking at? Not really. I need to see other themes take hold before I start looking at theme names again, unfortunately. For now, it's just SPY, QQQ. Koopsa, I appreciate you. Thank you again, man. Yeah, of course, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in, as always. I really appreciate it. These are great. I'm going to try to keep doing these. If you guys enjoy the stream, do me a solid. Throw me a like on your way out. If you really enjoyed the stream, shoot me a DM. Let me know what you enjoyed, what I could have done better, what you'd like to see included in the next stream, and I'll do my best to include that. So I appreciate all you guys tuning in. I wish you guys a ton of luck tomorrow in the CPI waters. I'm going to leave you with this. Just remember, guys, because everybody else makes it out to be a home run day doesn't mean you have to. Oftentimes, the best setups come the day after. Be easy, trade safe, trade well. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday evening. Peace.